The Termina is upon us. We start with a small group of contestants on the train who end up stuck in the city of Prehevel and, wait, wrong script. I am Vademort Lord, and this is my second tutorial on how to beat the hardest and most unfair game of all time. If you haven't watched the first one already, you can do so after this one, because now I'll be talking about one of the hardest sections of the entire game, the Total Fatale Arena. Quick info dump before getting to the video. New Keen and Sabrini game got released and currently is available for early access. It features lots of unique and interesting mechanics like pawn flip, where we basically play a card game minigame or way to control our senses, like sight, hearing, or smell. The game don't use AI anymore and has a story unlike Cards of Horror, but don't let its wholesome nature fool you, as there is something really dark and sinister waiting near the end. Now let's return to business, shall we? So the first question is how to get to that part of the game. That's why we get to begging, and at the difficulty selection screen we pick Coughing Baby, which makes enemies skip their first turn, bees to pawn after stinging, and we get overall more saves. As a starting character we pick Sabrini because of her tentacle hentai ability, good durability, and will get Keen anyway at the castle. Quick tip, saves don't matter that much on this playthrough, so you don't need to worry about them as much. However, it's better to save your game only after looting enough stuff, getting new party members, or making significant progress. Another good practice is avoiding all the normal enemies like fire. Fighting them does not give you anything. It's not the case like in Funger, when guard drops some good stuff, no. In this game, normal enemies are a big no-no, at least at this point. After that being said, we battle our first boss, Cash Mustard, and it's better to aim all of our hits at his body. When our HP drops under 150, use Tentacle Hentai, it usually finishes the battle. Soon we arrive at the castle, but before entering it's good to buy up to 50 shits at the store just in front of the building in order to craft super shit, which allows us to recruit Kage, who is a decent tank and will be important later on. His most helpful abilities are Grow Balls, buffing the entire party's defense for a couple of turns, and his passive skill, which gives him around a 30% chance of counterattacking. Then we go to the bathrooms, getting Gunnar Keen and an item called Anomaly. We battle an enemy called Vega Alma on our way, who is pretty straightforward. Disarm her hand with the weapon and then focus on the torso. After the fight we save and bring the item to the princess, and the castle is attacked by another boss, Mr. Thaddeus and Priest Buck. Use your character's skills to deal with them, but remember to finish the fight quickly, or else a dragon will emerge, which is way stronger than any enemy this far, and you don't want to fight it. Alright, now we're set and done with the first location, and we must leave it soon, otherwise we're going to get mutated by aliens. This time we'll be heading the harder way. Now we're heading to the beginning of the map, where our journey started, but you must remember to recruit Nif in the desert by defeating Relative. If you attack his body enough before it casts Cognito Hazard on you, you're good. Nif is really important, so remember that if he dies you must restart and redo any steps, otherwise you'll struggle way more later. Also remember to talk with the yellow-head man and take white liquid from him. With Nif on our team, we are finally able to get back to the start, where we save and interact with the blue toilet that takes us to the teleportation dimension. In this place you should press the left arrow continuously with short gaps between each press, as this way you'll be able to bump into the next party member called Poof, who is a direct reference to another Nevricard series of games. His skill set is literally perfect for the next location we're heading to. His first skill blocks the use of enemy skills. The second one deals high damage but stuns Poof for 2 turns, so its best use is when his ATK is really high and when you're sure it will one-shot the enemy. And his passive ability makes him immune to almost all negative states in the game. Soon after recruiting Poof, the battle with an enemy called Mother starts, and the best way to deal with her is equipping Poof with your best weapon and using Cheat Crash on the torso, then focusing all other characters' attacks on the torso as well. In this case my weapon is Toilet Splash. I forgot to mention that you should buy one from the shop. It deals decent damage but also allows us to recruit one more character going forward. Now we arrive at Oka Oka City, and a sign there is telling us to follow the blood trial, which is how to get into the park. But first we should go for the party member. We head left up until end of the map then downwards, Then right until we find a tree, our party member should be somewhere near, and after giving him toilet splash he will join our team. Now we get Greenman, who is a decent tank and item generator, as one of his abilities lets you choose to play only as him, and each of his solo victories gives you a random item which will help later on. Alright, now let's return to the main path and follow the blood steps. You should avoid all the Oka toilets on your way, but if you get into battle, that's how you should handle it. Equip Sabrini, Kage, or Greenman with your strongest weapon, attack the toilet heads, and guard with all other more vulnerable characters. When their flushes appear, use the silence skill as poof. It makes sure the enemy won't regenerate their head, regardless of whether it's a normal toilet or tantrum. However, be prepared, as even one encounter with those enemies might affect your party with the diarrhea effect, which stops you from moving every couple of seconds, allowing toilets to catch you more easily. Don't worry though, as the shopkeeper sells an item called toilet paper, which can remove that status effect. But in this run you should avoid buying too many items and spending money, as you need to save it for an item called the Total Fatale ticket, necessary to enter the event. Anyway, once you get through all of this filthy mess and arrive at the park, follow the path leading to Sebsen's house, where you can save. Congratulations, you've survived Oka City. The thing you must do now is save, and afterwards loot the entire location from all the trash cans, then save. Then get yourself into Night World by entering the white face portal, then loot all the trash cans from there. Recruit Jobak, our teleporting horseman, by picking the correct options in his dialogue. Also recruit Zina, in case we would need more damage dealers in our party, again by picking the right options in his dialogue. After looting all the stuff, go to the uppermost area, which is Hotel Hansen, and save there. Now we're going to think about ways to obtain the Total Fatale tickets, and there are 3 possible options. The first one is the one I went with, teleporting to the backrooms with either the clipping ragdoll or the planks, finding Zack there, thanks to whose ability we can get into Fableland through the crack in the wall, where we also loot everything. Then save, teleport into the backrooms again, where we use Greenman to solo as many fights as possible until our total amount of Brobucks is over 500, so we can buy the ticket. The second option is either save scumming to obtain Toalatin or crafting it via the crafting menu, returning to Oka City, finding Loudmouth Titan, triggering it, and looting all the trash cans and toilets there. This option results in the largest amount of loot, but it's also the most difficult one. And our third option is to save scum Yellow Epstein and fight him until he drops the Total Fatale ticket. That being said, once we get the ticket, remember to spend the money you have left by buying either drugs, cigarettes, or any healing items, as you won't be able to gain money during the event. Just be sure you buy kidneys, not sperm or shit, as you'll lose all of them when getting to the tournament. With my current team, I am confident and ready to attend the festival. So let's get back to Sebsen's house by paying Elephanty to teleport us into the park, and head right into the streets, where just before getting into the tournament we recruit Sylvia by taking that purple fluffy pony from the top of the map straight to the bottom. Just say her boyfriend is trash and she will join you. It's important because with her on our team we will unlock the artificial breathing option, which will save our team from getting to 1 HP because of Cyclone B. After that we are teleported into a new location where we meet this racist guy and escape the white fat horse, getting a chance to save the game and finally start what we know as the Total Fatale tournament. So you may ask how it works, and I'm going to answer that right here. There are a total of 7 days and 7 challenges, where 6 of them are randomly decided by a spinning wheel. So instead of the random order I beat them in during my playthrough, I decided to list them from the least difficult to the hardest one. Before getting into them, I must address that the only way you can save is after beating a challenge, unless you have a prismatic card or Nif, as his 100 mana skill Exparabbit also allows him to save. So keep that in mind and save these 2 for the right time. Challenge 1, Voting for Trump, Low Difficulty. There's not much to say about this one. Simply input Trump into the text form. If you input anything else, you die. The only thing you have to worry about is the blue blob fight at the end, but you can escape from him using either ZCP items or Zack's skill. Even if you have to fight him, just disarm him or use Ed's decapitation skill. That's all about this challenge. Challenge 2, Scientist in the Backrooms, medium difficulty. In this one you are teleported to the backrooms, with the same layout as the normal one, except every zone is connected, and you have 10 minutes to find the scientist there. He is usually hidden between those black entities called naplets, which guard the passages, and they should be extremely easy to defeat by now. The one and only thing you should worry about in this location is bumping into a contestant or a smiler, who will one-shot you. Otherwise, 10 minutes is more than enough to find the guy. Taking Joe back with you is highly recommended for this one, as when you press E he can teleport behind walls, saving you time and energy. Another thing to remember is that sometimes in this tournament you may encounter a beef between contestants. Just interact with them and you'll obtain the soul of the fallen one, which you'll be able to use in Qtexan, the bootleg version of Hexen from Termina, later. Also, among all the contestants there are 2 that are friendly and recruitable, SCYPS, who can be recruited on day 3 near the entrance to the next challenge. Kewin, who stays still, and after having gay sex with him 3 times, he will join your team. Keep that in mind and don't skip a chance when you find him here. Challenge 3, Rat Kings, medium difficulty. In this one you're placed in a forest that loops both horizontally and vertically, and you only have a couple of minutes to find at least 6 Rat Kings scattered across the location. There are contestants everywhere, so take Joe back in order to teleport behind trees. There's also a life hack you can do in order to defeat the strongest contestant for free. If you got all the rats and still have enough time, just find SpongeBob and get into battle with him. When the timer reaches 0, congratulations, he's dead, and you obtain the Eldritch Soul, the strongest one you can get. Challenge 4, Dodgeball, medium difficulty. The only reason I call this medium and not easy is because the balls are quite fast, and sometimes you can get caught off guard if you make a mistake. If you go and stay in this exact spot, you'll be safe most of the time, until the moment a few of the balls start slowly approaching you. Then simply step right to avoid them, then up, then left. Avoid the next few projectiles coming your way until it's safe to return to your position and repeat. Every 30 seconds you will have an opportunity to throw the ball at the chef, and if you successfully hit him twice, you win this challenge. Challenge 5, Nikocado House, high/extreme difficulty. This is the challenge that will make you look at food with disgust forever. So where do I even start? First off, there are stains of food on the ground. You basically must collect 99 of them and then exit the place. At first, go straight and check if Nikocado is nearby. If he isn't, go left, preferably using Joback's teleportation. Don't collect any food yet, as doing so will affect you with poison, diarrhea, tapeworm, and infestation. Leave them for later unless they block your path when escaping Nikocado. Then go straight to the room ahead, avoiding enemies, but fight them if there's no other option. Just remember, do not kill the pirate. Then head upstairs, where you'll find a trash can with an iPhone million. Also remember to avoid the black spots. If you fall into one of them on the second floor, you'll simply appear on the first floor. But if you fall into one on the first floor, or get caught by Nikocado, you'll be transported to the pit of despair. Your only chance of escaping from there is finding the previously mentioned pirate and giving him the iPhone million. He will rage quit and send you back to floor 1. Anyway, once you're on the second floor, go through the corridor and start looting the food leftovers. Then go back and head right to collect leftovers from there as well. Once you get over 60, return to the staircase and collect the food leftovers all the way back to the place you originally came from. After hitting 99 leftovers, you finally escape. My recommendation for this challenge is saving your progress with either NIF or a prismatic card when you have collected around 50 leftovers and are in a safe location. Also, I forgot to mention that you should have saved at least 10 money before getting here. It's not because of shopping or anything. It's because after this challenge you'll be left with infestation, and it's better to heal it via the plague doctor's help before your characters die from it. Challenge 6, Carnage Victims, high/extreme difficulty. This isn't marked red on the challenge wheel for no reason, as it is debatably the hardest one. Before even attempting it, you should defeat an enemy called Padalus and teach SCYPS, or another of your characters, the ability called Field Ripper Vein. Otherwise, your ability to run will be significantly limited due to the red vein spreading whenever you run near them. Another important thing you should consider, and it's important not only for this challenge but for the entire Total Fatale tournament, are those randomly running faceless lemons. Don't mistake them for the one that actually has a face. Between challenges, if you win one, you should search for one of them on the right part of the map and another on the left part. After collecting them, go to the middle of the upper floor and exchange them with Hectorov for an item called a fake photo, which allows you to give cognito hazard to enemies without using Nifa's ability. So after gathering enough fake photos and learning Field Ripper Vein, you can have a fair attempt at this challenge. First off, now you can freely run, and every time Field Ripper tries to attack you it dies instead, leaving a corpse behind with a value of 2 chaos parts. In this challenge you must collect a total of 50 chaos parts by exchanging the flesh of killed enemies in special totems. The most valuable ones come from juggernauts and are worth 10 chaos parts. With the use of fake photos and SCYPS monkey key balls, battling them isn't that hard, but remember to attack their legs with all other characters first, then the head, otherwise they might cast Swallow and instantly kill one of your party members. If there are none of them around, target lurkers instead. They give flesh worth 5 chaos parts, but they will make one of your characters blind for the entire fight. However, keep in mind that SCYPS key balls always hit the target no matter what. After you manage to collect all 50 chaos parts, find a place within the forest where there is a trail, and follow it as I did. When you get close to the red entity, save your game with either NIF or a prismatic card, because now you'll get into a chase sequence with the red orb that spawns after you input all the chaos parts. This is the path I took. When I exited the forest area with blood, I immediately went upwards until there was a small gap between the trees. I took that exit and went upwards again. Continue until you reach the blood lake, then go left to the place where the chef is waiting for you. Good job, you've beaten Carnage victims, and the last challenge on this list. Now you should teach your characters all the skills from the souls you obtained. I recommend a Kage tank build, where you give him Eldritch form. Dr. Soul, which makes him heal from bleeding. The N-word skill, which allows him to taunt all enemy attacks. Because the next day is the final day. First off, run away from your bed into the location below before the chef emerges and collect all the lemons, as well as the green chests containing powerful items. After exchanging them with Hectorov, let's battle the chef and obtain the key necessary to unlock the path to the arena where our final challenge awaits. The Boss Rush. This contains almost all bosses of the base game up to this point. Good flashbacks from Poof's Killer Garden, heh. Anyway, let's fight. The strategy here is simple, let's cheat a bit without actually cheating. After every fight, the game allows us to change our party, and there's a 1 in 10 chance of a special character joining our team called Kawagami, yes, the Junji Ito reference girl. She can carry you through most of the fights, and you don't even need to use her white orb spiral ability up to the battle with the 4 Leviathans, just before the last encounter. But remember to remove her from your party before the final battle with Go, the Master of Arena, otherwise your game will end with the spiral ending instead of the intended one. For the battle with Go himself, I recommend using SCYPS, Kage, Poof, and Sylvia. The strategy is simple, Kage, with his tank build, should taunt. SCYPS should use monkey key balls. Sylvia and Poof should attack Go's hands until they are destroyed. If Kage dies, resurrect him with Sylvia and use a fake photo on the enemy if you still have them in your inventory. Poof should use his cute cut ability on both of Go's hands, body, and head, preventing him from casting devastating dice flip attacks, as well as bites or other skills. After the hands are gone, destroy his legs, then the head, using fake photos in later turns if the cute status effect disappears. And congratulations, you did it. You've beaten the Total Fatale tournament and the arena. Your parents can be proud of you, and you deserve a Nobel Prize for beating the hardest game imaginable. Tell everyone. And if you want to know how to beat the other endings of the game, watch this and my other videos. The links are in the description. And may the Force be with wizards. Bye.